Hey, what's going on, guys? Double 18 Set Shadow here. We're in tournament season for the Shadowverse qualifiers for regional this month, and they're still going on. I just realized that there was one yesterday in my local area, and I thought it was next week, so I missed out on that. But there is another one coming next week for me, so I'll probably be attending that myself with I'm probably just going to be trying to troll people with Forest Craft, and if I somehow manage to make top, yay, great. But we're going into today's Market Watch with qualifiers in mind right now, although when it comes to the market itself, it's not much different from what I said before. Prices have more so been on the decline for set 1, and for the most part, I think they've just kind of stabilized and they're not really moving too much farther after that. And if we're taking a look at this first one right here, which is still my favorite legendary to pick up right now, Merlin, it's also down in price, even though I said that this was likely going to be one of those that would stabilize and stay relatively higher in comparison to the others. I guess it just ended up being the slowest to fall of the lot. Because even if you take a look at the Evo version, it's dropped under $10, even though it had been consistently above 11 for a little while. And as for the legendary, there was a point late last week where this card became available for under $20, and those got snatched up quite quickly over 2 days time. So there's some more potential chance of this to continue to fall out when we get another print of set 1 come September. So through September and October, we'll probably see even more prints of set 1 stuff hit the market, which could further drive prices down. But when it comes to sets that will come out after that, Merlin is still looking to see play as time passes. So it ends up becoming a matter of how well the Shadowverse Championship manages to get more players into the game. And then the next one to talk about is Bellringer Angel, in particular because we're finally seeing some listings of the regular gold of the basic Bellringer under $15. So it's still on a decline after this game's initial release. Although when we take a look at some of those listings, they're singular listings. So if we take a look at the ones where we have multiple copies available, they're above $15 right now, so effectively, Bellringer is still pretty much a $15 card at this point. And then we're going to take a look at Execution, which we haven't covered in a while, but this card hasn't really changed too much since its initial takeoff, which we last talked about. It's effectively a $5 card. It has been staying there for a while. If it gets bought out, players attempt to, or sellers attempt to, I keep saying players. Sellers attempt to sell it for 10, sometimes they succeed, but for the most part, more just end up on the market and drop the price back down to 5 to 4. So that's effectively where it's solidified at this point, and if more copies continue to hit, it'll probably sink a little bit further. Aelia Dragon Knight's another card I want to cover as I look through the sales that I've been making, and Aelia is one of those that has been selling pretty well outside of sword-based cards, because I feel like Swordcraft singles sell more easily than anything else. But if we take a look at Aelia's listings, 49 cents is the base right now with a market price of 70 cents. And if you want the foil version of it, it's available for $3, but its market price is $4.74, so basically $5. Let's see. But if you take a look at the actual listings, low with shipping is still about $4. So this is basically a $4 card at this point compared to the $3 that you see here. Then you've got Maid Leader, which has a good number of listings. It was one of those cards that was a lot easier to sell at higher rates, and right now it's $125 for its base listing for the regular version. Market price is just about there. You take a look at the Evo version, it's 50 cents. Market price is a little bit higher. And you take a look at the foils, we're looking at about $4 for the Evo and $4.50 to $5 for the regular one. I guess if we take a look, given what we saw with the last one, Nope, it's more like $5. But then, of course, TCG Player will prioritize a lot of the sellers who have free shipping over 5, so you do have to look a bit. For the most part, it is $5, maybe a few that are under $4.50 at this point. If we take a look at the Evo version, let's see, 380, 39. So basically a $4 card if you want the foil of the Evo version of this card as well. Rhinoceros, the evolved form of this card is... the thing I wanted to point out about this is that while it's kind of stabilized around the dollar mark, it is a little bit lower on listings compared to some of the other cards. And one thing that I noticed when I was opening my case, and I think I covered it one time already, is that Evo versions of gold rare cards seem to have lesser quantities of their Evos in comparison to their regulars, which is why cards like Urd's Evo got bought out, and then Shapeshifting Mage from Dragoncraft saw huge boosts in its value for the Evo, but not much for the regular one. But in any case, the Evo version of Roach right now has listings for about $1, but the vast majority of listings available right now are above that, closer to $3, $4 when you count the shipping and handling versus the prices. So if you're going to pick these up for $1 or such, you're usually doing $2 or more because you're only buying one copy a piece for the most part on this card. Crazed Executioner is another popular one to pick up. In particular, when you take a look at the regular silver version, that's got 17 listings, so it is under 20 listings, but its market price and base listing are pretty equal, around 75 cents. Then you've got the foil version of it, which is about $2 to start off with, and the market price is $2.31. Then you've got the Evo, which has a lot of listings in comparison. 40 listings for the base version of the Evo, and then you've got the premium foil version, which has 31 listings and starting at $190, which is interesting to see because I thought this was a pretty high value one initially. Although, even if I say that, that's not much more than $4. But it sells for $3 pretty consistently, and in terms of availability, you've got a lot of them for $2, and then you've got shipping to go along with it. So basically at $3 when you want to pick it up. Fervid Soldier is another one that is lower on quantities right now, but it's still above 10 listings, 14 overall, and it sells pretty consistently for 50 cents right now. So that's another one to keep your eye out for. As I did mention, Swordcraft is one of the crafts where you're likely to see a lot more of the smaller cards get picked up more readily. Another one, though, is Serpent's Wrath, which shows as a low of 10 cents right now, but that's only one copy. And then when you start to take a look at how much it actually sells for more quantities, it's 40 to 50 cents instead. And this is a silver. It has 14 listings overall and has sold more often for... It's sold for 50 cents quite a few times and had a lot of 25-cent listings that just got bought out. And to wrap up is Novice Trooper, which had its moment of being above $1 for a little while, but I don't think it actually sold, at least not in the last weekish. Yeah, it had one time where it was able to sell above $1, but the regular version of this is still available for, well, it's available for $1.50 depending on where you want to look for it, but it's still one of the more expensive bronzes to pick up, but even so, still rather affordable. So not much to worry about on that front. Thank you guys for watching. And one thing before I take off today is I did mention, I was talking about how I'm selling some of these cards as well, and I'm using some of the statistics I've got of that to drive some of my analyses for these market watches. But if you are interested, I do sell on TCG Player as well. So if you haven't already noticed, given what my name is, the shop handle is Seth Shadow's Hall, which is basically just a take on my name, 118 Seth Shadow. So if you are looking for singles, I am available and selling some of them as well. But I will see you guys later. Have a good night.